Hey guys! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi! I'm Cheenie, and the first thing I wanna say is that I'm so sorry I haven't uploaded or gone live in a month. This month has just been so crazy, like full of work, mostly work things, and then of course there's school and med school applications. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. I forgot na how to vlog. Okay, anyway. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'll be sharing with you my experiences of med school applications finally, since I've completed it all na for all 4 schools na lang. And I'll tell you in a bit why the list went down to 4 schools from 5 schools. So yeah, if you wanna know about med school applications for 2022, even though it's a little late, then keep on watching. Alright, so initially I planned to apply to 5 schools, namely, namely UST, FEU, UERM, SLMC, and Ateneo. But then, in the process of applying, I decided not to apply for UST anymore. Why? 1, I missed the deadline, and 2, I realized that had I applied there, I would be applying there just for the sake of applying there. And I really didn't, although UST med school is a really good med school, parang if I end up going there, I don't think I'd be happy. So, ayun, that's why. So, although I'll be sharing pa rin some of the things I experienced while applying for UST Med School, I'll just share what I know. Okay. Okay, general. If I look up, I'm looking at my laptop. So, okay. And I'm sorry for all the fillers already that I'm saying. Okay. So, for the process, generally, they all follow the same thing of pre-registration, filling out and submitting of forms, payment, interview, and results. So, UST pre-reg is on a website. Actually, I think all pre-reg are on the website for all 5 schools. Then, after pre-reg, you'd have to continue to fill out the forms on that pre-registration. And then, when you finish it, you have to print it out and then put it in a brown envelope and submit it with the other requirements that the school is asking for from you. Okay, so if you're applying to UST and you're studying your undergraduate course in UST, it's gonna be easier because you'd have to request for less requirements because they can forward it right away to the Faculty of Medicine and Surgery. So things like the TOR and your grades and other requirements na kailangan, you won't have to request it na from the registrars. Okay. For FEU, once you're done with pre-reg, and you upload all the documents na that you need, that's pretty much it. FEU is literally the easiest registration for because it's all online. Like, you don't have to go to the school itself to submit your forms. That will only happen once you actually pass and get accepted into the school already. So, ayun. UERM, the portal's pretty accessible naman. It might get confusing lang because you can have several copies of your application form, but then just remember the last one that you filled out so that that's the one you can print. For SLMC, the pre-reg and the registration are kind of the same because you won't be able to submit the pre-reg unless you finish the whole form. So there's that. And then ASMPH was the most confusing one for me because every time you log in, it's like you have to apply as a new applicant. Although the first time you do it, your information gets saved naman. So it just gets confusing in that part na even though you filled it up already, you have to fill up again or apply again. But then, you just have to remember like your reference number, ganon, what email you used, and then all of those things. Alright. Okay. I don't know if you understood that, but I hope you did. I do have a Google Sheets that I will link in the description box down below that has almost all the information that you need for applying to different med schools. I did include UST, FEU, UERM, SLMC, ASMPH, UP, PLM, and De La Salle Health Science Institute. So, all of those schools are there, and then what you can find in the sheets are the minimum and math score requirement, how much the registration fee is, the NMAT dates that they are accepting, if they have scholarship, and a lot of other things that you will find useful. So you can just check it out down below if you're planning to apply to med school. Okay. The next thing is about requirements. So more or less, all the schools have the same requirements. They just differ in how many and let's say in the size of the ID pictures, ganon. So, basic requirements is your TOR or your transcript of records, birth certificate. Some are asking for a certificate of candidacy for graduation or certificate of graduation. Then Ateneo specifically requests for a certificate of batch ranking with your QPI or your GWA. So there's that. And then recommendation letters. So recommendation letters, it gets kind of confusing because some schools request for a recommendation letter from your profs, like they personally write you a recommendation letter like UERM and FEU. Then there are schools like Ateneo that the recommendation letter has to come from the dean and the Office of Student Affairs. So in UST, in order to get the what was I talking about? In order to get the recommendation letter, in order to get the recommendation, you need to get from dean first, and then after getting from dean, you submit it to them, then they'll give it to you. Yeah. Okay, another thing, if you're from UST, request your requirements early. Like, early. Sometimes it takes up to 2 months before you get your requirements. It's crazy. Like, unless you know people in your dean's office who can help you expedite things, shout out Adeline, then you really need to you really need to request them early. But if you want to save money for requirements, because requirements are expensive for some reason, like I don't know why, then you can request it January. I think that's the safest, like right when you come back from school for your second semester, because I'm assuming that people who are watching this video are just watching it na for reference for next year, because tapos na yung application period except for FEU. So ayun, so your requirements really like legit, unless you have a school that has fast turnover, then good for you. Pero ayun, sorry. What else? Some schools allow recommendation letters from your profs in high school, so that's really nice. Like UERM allows that. And then what else? Pick your profs, I guess, like the profs that you're close to and you have a relationship with, because they are the ones who will be able to vouch for you in the recommendation letter. But if you're not close to your profs, then siguro makiisip, please put in a good word for me, ganon. And then in Ateneo, they request, or Ateneo and UERM, they request for profs to send the recommendation letters straight to their email. But by their email, I mean to the school's email. So, I don't know if it's more convenient or whatnot, but there's that. Okay. The next thing is submission of requirements. Like I said a while ago, FEU is all online, so there's no physical submission of requirements until you get in the school. But UERM, ASMPH, SLMC, all have physical submission. So you have to put your documents, the registration form, and all your requirements in a brown envelope, label it with your name and reference number or applicant number, depending on what the med school is asking for. Then that brown envelope, you put it in a plastic envelope for better protection, because it will probably get crumpled since there are a lot of applicants and you have to go to the school mismo. And when you get there, you don't have to go up na to the registrations or to the registrar's office, because the guard will bring it up for you. If you saw that, I think you saw that in my last vlog when I went to work and I passed by SLMC. I just left it with the guard, then I left. I was there for like 30 seconds. Even UERM, you don't even need to park or whatever. So there's that. Okay. Next is once your requirements are received, the schools will either email you, text you, call you to inform you about your interview schedule. So the interviews are good naman. You can prepare for it by thinking of standard interview questions. Why med? Why this school? Is there any specialty that you wanna be right now? Ganon. But more or less, they are something to be not nervous about, I think. Parang you just have to be yourself and answer truthfully. That's the best advice I can give, because I can't say like what actual questions they gave, especially for Ateneo, because it's like you have to sign this like document saying na I will not reveal questions, whatever, which is good. Okay, so first for FEU's interview was nice. Supposedly it's one-on-one, so one interviewer and one interviewee, but I had a different case. I had 4 interviewees and 1 interviewer, and they do tell you the name of your interviewer in advance, so it's up to you if you want to search them or not. I made the mistake of searching my interviewer 5 minutes before, which made me super anxious because his credentials were amazing. But it was a different interview, because the questions that he asked were not part of the usual questions that I mentioned a while ago. He more he more asked us on questions about politics, and based off of our answers, he can get what he needed in order to assess us for FEU. So there's that. And next thing is for UERM. UERM's interview is really one-on-one. Don't be afraid if your interviewer seems NR, because they're not, or at least I think they're not, because they're just trying to keep it unbiased and not show you favor or unfavor based on your answers. What else? If you're lucky enough, like me, there was this one question that I answered, which was related to me getting into K-pop over the pandemic. And I think it just so happened my interviewer was also an army doctor. So it was really nice. She was asking me about, oh, so manonood ka rin ng concert mamaya, ganyan. I was like, oh my God, doc. So that was really nice. It was super fun. And just make sure your answers are genuine, because I feel like they can feel that. Yeah. SLMC was nice. My interviewer was super chill. She was so nice, so cool. Like, she was very, like, my feelings were reciprocated, or like how, I don't know if that makes sense, because for UERM they might seem NR because they're, parang ganon. And then SLMC was like, they're still unbiased. They're not showing you favor, but your enthusiasm of how you're answering was reciprocated. Ganon. Parang, and it's like, the questions are not just a list of questions. They will ask you follow-up questions depending on what you answered. So that was really nice, just to keep everything connected and related to each other pa rin. And it was nice. That was one-on-one also. That's all I can say. It was nice because it was really nice. And then my last interview was for Ateneo. From what I know, you only get an interview from Ateneo if you pass like a short list. So the short list is based off of your requirements and your personal essay. Ateneo has a personal essay that's optional, but SLMC has a personal essay that's not optional. You need to finish that's at least 500 words before you can submit your application. Just like a thought that just came into my mind. Ateneo's interview was the most different. It was very interesting, and it was my favorite interview out of all, because it was like, whoa, like, ganon. That's how I felt about it. So basically, you don't know your interviewers, and your interviewers don't know you. You cannot introduce yourself. They will not introduce themselves to you. Parang siyang moving practicals. Ganon yung vibe niya. But all the questions are gauging your soft skills. That's how they explained it. It gauges your soft skills because that's very important, or they hold that very important to them, to their school, because it's like, it'll help get to know you better on how you work, your values, ganon. So it was fun. Yeah. What else? After the interview, then you have to wait a few weeks or a month before you get the results. And there. Yeah. Results. Yay. So far, from what you guys know, is I got accepted into FEU. This is just to update you guys na rin. I got accepted into FEU. I did not get accepted into SLMC and Ateneo, which is fine. I'm thankful that I got the interview na. And but if I had to think about the reason why I didn't get accepted, I think it was because of my NMAT score. Because my NMAT score doesn't reach their minimum requirement, which is a line of 9. And then for UERM, I don't really know, because they sent out texts and some people got their results already. But then parang how I'm thinking about it is, unless I get a no saying sorry, we cannot accept you into our university, then I still think there's a chance. So I'm hanging on to that chance. So right now, between FEU and UERM, I am kind of leaning towards FEU, and I'm gonna pay na, hopefully, for my reservation fee. But yeah, that's my little update, very quick update about med school, and I think that's the end of this video. So I hope you got my thoughts, even though they were like everywhere. But yeah, if you're watching this and you're planning to apply for med school, then good luck. I wish you the best of luck. I hope you do well in your NMAT and your interviews. So yeah, if you found this video helpful, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down below and click the notification bell so you get notified when I have a new video. Never forget, there's nothing to it but to do it. See you guys in my next video. Bye!